I knew Eddy Fondo way back in 1979 when I was employed by the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. And broadcasting house used to be called Voice of Kenya by then. One radio station, one television station, actually one media house during those days, which was more his era. Now, Fondo, I knew him in January when I was employed here at Voice of Kenya. Apparently, I used to live in the same estate. Before I joined Voice of Kenya in 1979, I used to stay in California, New Pumwani Estate, which is in area near Majengo. And when I joined Voice of Kenya, I had to move to a place called Kibera. Kibera, an estate called Fort Jesus. Apparently, Eddy Fondo used to live in Olympic Estate. We knew one another, and there was a lot of innovative in him and creative mind. He could think, he could discuss about music, he could discuss about ideas. This was not a man who could just sit there, just talk about empty, like any other empty minds, just talk about anything. He could just discuss about ideas, new programs. What are we going to do to bring our programs to be listened to? Fondo was a quiet person, very humble, could not shout to anybody. He could do his job the way it's supposed to be done. When he used to do his shift, Fondo used to tell me he used to come maybe 1 hour before the shift. He could, even 2 hours, he could come, sit in an office, prepare himself, because during those days, there was a lot of reading letters from the listeners. Technology now has changed. Technology now, we just go through the email, we go through the computer, but mails used to come, get the mails, open the mails, get the message from the listener, and he used to acknowledge the message from the listener. So his popularity was immense, because on the one radio, you can imagine, everybody used to listen to one radio in Kenya during that time. And his listeners or his audience, he drawn throughout the country, the big, the small, the old, all kind of people. He was a person, when he gets to the studio, his language was very, very interesting. He could crack jokes on air. He could select music, the kind of music all the listeners would like to listen to. This is not a man who used to get to the studio to play something or a song to satisfy himself. He had in mind one listener, because when we're in the studio, your audience, you imagine, only one person to listen to you. So that was Fondo himself. And one thing I liked about Fondo is, this is a man, he never used to hold a grudge. I can remember these days, what is happening these days. Many areas, places of work, you find you get annoyed with somebody and you hold a grudge for a long time. You say you never talk to this particular person, you hate that particular person for good, you say you'll never forgive. Fondo used to believe in forgiveness. No holding any grudge. Somebody annoys him, the Fondo relaxes, and then he forgets about it, he forgives that particular person. Even at times he used to go ahead and tell that person, I've forgiven you. That was Fondo himself. In the circle of entertainment, he used to be liked or loved by many musicians, because in his musical shows, he used to promote all the musicians in Kenya. Unlike, some other announcers, you get to the studio, maybe a particular musician or another group or a particular group, you keep on playing that group. He used to play for everybody. If you have a good song, he used to play it. He used not to favor anybody. All the musicians are equal, so long we have a very good song. Because also, in this program, Wajua na Mziki, here, during those days, he used to bring all the kind of musicians to come and talk about their music. Yeah? Because when you start bringing few musicians and you leave the other ones, that is not the best. So he used to cover everybody. And friendship used to be a man of great friendship, used to interact with people, many people freely, freely interacting with the people, and people used to like him very much, because this is a man who never used to complain. Anytime you sit down, you have fun, the guy is laughing throughout, and you talk very, very good things. he never used to like people talking about one another. You come, you ask him about so and so, he says he will not answer you that. Because whenever you come with a problem, the guy used to tell you, no, the problem, I want a solution of that problem. Don't just tell me you have that problem. The best thing is to have the solution of that problem, and then we move on. So after his death, I think the death of Eddy Fondo has caught many in surprise, especially me. We used to be very, very close with him because we used to live in the same estate. When he was not working and when I was not working, we used to meet in areas. We have fun together, yeah, with friends. We talk together. I used to visit him in his house. He used to visit me in the house. My children used to know his children. Actually, we are family friends, great friends. So his death is a shock because I used to talk to him. Actually, by the way, 2 weeks ago, after demise of another veteran broadcaster, Samson Lipuka, I spoke to Fondo. And Fondo was very okay and asked him about, did you hear about Lipuka? He told me, oh, sorry, death, everybody's gonna go. We're all alive, but everybody's gonna go. So that was the words from Fondo about 2 weeks ago before his death. So when I heard about his death on Tuesday, the 11th of April 2017, at about 10 in the morning, his brother called me from Kaloleni, Giriama, I think from Kilifi, actually it was in the hospital. And he told me, Larry, sad news. Ndugu yako, ndugu yetu, Eddy Fondo, ametuaga. So that was a shock, I'm telling you. And I'm still in shock because somebody been talking to every time. He didn't tell me 2 weeks prior to his death. He didn't tell me whether he had any problem. So until I was told after 2 weeks that he's no more. So to any other aspiring broadcaster, people in the media fraternity, I urge them to be like Fondo. Because when you talk about journalism, especially hours, what you do in the radio and so on, it's very, very, very competitive, and you might not go well with a lot of people. Just be what you are, just be like Fondo. Let the people judge you, critique you while you're on the radio, and be like him, be an example like him, give the people what they want when you're on the radio, talk to the people nicely, interact with the people they were supposed to be, and you're going to be a darling of many, just like the late Eddy Fondo. May soul rest in eternal peace.